What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. It's a nice warm day with a cool breeze coming through, so I don't really have any excuses. Figured I'll come out here and shoot the shit with you guys for a little while. And in today's topic, I want to talk about learning how to roll with the punches. And the reason why I want to talk about this subject is because one of the most common things that I hear when somebody reaches out and wants a coaching or calls into the show, one of the most common issues that they're facing is that they've been consuming a lot of dating content, a lot of manosphere content, maybe a lot of red-pilled content, and they've learned a lot of valuable information, and it's all true, and it all checks out, and it's interesting, and they really like learning about it, but it's caused their results to get worse. It's hindered their success in the dating game. So, what's causing this to happen? And that's what I want to get into in today's video. Now, in the manosphere, if we were to bring up the four most popular terms that you hear people talking about, it'd probably be alpha male, beta male, red pill, and blue pill. To normies out there, sounds kind of corny, but to people that follow this type of content, you know what I'm talking about. And essentially, an alpha male is a guy who is manly and cool. A beta male is a guy who is kind of a sissy. A red pillar is a guy who is, we could say, enlightened. He's educated. He's aware of his surroundings. And a blue pillar is a guy who is naive. Maybe he's missing some information, missing some context. But anyways, that's just a brief definition of what those four terms mean. And the reason why I'm bringing these four terms up is because you kind of have to understand the most attractive guy universally in the eyes of pretty much every woman is going to be the guy that is what the manosphere would refer to as the blue-pilled alpha. So he's manly and cool, but he hasn't studied any of this stuff. He might be a little bit naive. Maybe even to some degree, he can be manipulated a little bit. And women are attracted to this guy because, like I said, he's manly and cool, so he's attractive. But he's a guy that can roll with the punches. He's fun to be around. He's the type of guy she can, go out with a couple of times. She can have a one-night stand with. Maybe she can have a relationship with. But he doesn't overthink things. He doesn't overanalyze things. He just rolls with the punches. And the least attractive type of guy in the eyes of women, pretty much all women, is going to be the red-pilled beta male. So this is the guy that has all the information. He thinks about hypergamy, and he thinks about red pill and black pill, and he thinks about female nature. But he's not manly and cool, right? So he's kind of this weakling that understands all the information, so the way he processes it is in a manner that makes him bitter, angry, maybe even misogynistic, so on and so forth. Where the blue-pilled alpha, he loves women. He loves life. He's happy-go-lucky. The red-pilled beta is going to be the opposite of that. He's going to be bitter, resentful, and that's who he's going to become. And, we got to keep it all the way honest. In a place like the manosphere, that's probably going to be the number one type of guy that you're going to attract. That's going to be the type of guy that's going to be most drawn in to that sort of a genre. I mean, is that not true? I mean, wouldn't you say that that's like, it checks out, that makes sense? And I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean it in like an educational way, so we can help the red-pilled betas get better results. Now, from my own experience, I can say 100% that before I ever found out about the manosphere would consider me to be a blue-pilled alpha. So when I first experienced single life as a 29-year-old, all I would do is roll with the punches. I might go to the gym and, bump into a cute girl. We start talking, we hit it off. Maybe we hook up, maybe we date. Or maybe I see a cute girl smile at me, and then when I'm leaving, I have a note written on my windshield. It's a secret admirer. There's her phone number. I call her, and it happens to be that cute girl. If one thing leads to another, maybe we'll hook up. Maybe if we like each other, maybe we'll date for a little while. Maybe we'll have a relationship. But I would just roll with the punches. And after I started consuming a lot of manosphere content, I would have a tendency to overthink things. Just to give you an example, maybe a girl leaves a note on my windshield, and I read it, and I text her, I figure out who it is, and then I start to think about it, and it's like, I've seen her talking to some other guys too. So I'm not the only guy she's talking to. Which, by the way, is true, right? Nothing special about me. If she's doing it to me, she's probably seeking all types of guys, right? She's either has a purpose of finding a boyfriend, or she's just looking for some fun on the side. But either way, I'm not the only man in the world, and I have to understand that. But, learning about female nature and stuff can put me in a position that rather than rolling with the punches, calling her, hooking up with her, and maybe we hook up and we have such a good time that she wants to just stop talking to all the other guys and focus on me and her, just because I rolled with the punches. But when I overanalyze things, I can go down all sorts of different paths. Path number one, I could say, oh, she's just a whore and I don't want to talk to her. Which, by the way, is a path a lot of guys go down. And I'm not telling you what you should or should not do. I'm just saying, think about the options. Or maybe another path would be, I would apply some, pickup artist, gamey, cheesy type of stuff. Maybe I'm displaying high value, or, I don't even know all the terminology that the pickup artists use. Being a leader of men, influence, and I'm focusing on all of this stuff, all these attraction triggers, rather than just rolling with the punches. You know what I mean? And obviously when you become that guy, you're like slowly shifting yourself. Even if you're a blue-pilled alpha that has no problems with women, you're shifting into becoming a red-pilled beta instead of becoming a red-pilled alpha, which is what we'll get to by the time this is over. Because once you start to overthink things, it makes you feel kind of small. For a lot of guys, that might be hard to deal with. Maybe when you're blue-pilled and women are coming on to you, you think, wow, there's something special about me. They can tell I've been working out, I've been lifting weights, I've been working on my social circle, I've been working hard and making money, I've been doing all these things. So women are really starting to desire me. But then once you realize, okay, you're not the only guy that's working out, you're not the only guy that has money, you're not the only guy that's decent looking or whatever, well, this can make you feel less than. Even though you're doing pretty damn good, when you see her talking to another guy, it makes you feel irrelevant. And when you're overanalyzing things and overthinking things, that's a path that it can lead you down, right? So here's the thing, though, because I want everybody to understand this. And well, before I get to that, I should say that my perspective is coming from a guy that got fairly good results. The success rate has always been decently high, and the effort hasn't really ever had to be turned up to the max. I just kind of enjoy life, roll with the punches. You know, you could even say at times I'm happy-go-lucky, Disney nice guy at times even, you know. But I also have to understand, and I have to put myself in the shoes of guys that never had results. And a lot of people will say that I flip-flop a lot, because in some videos I'm putting myself in their shoes, and in other videos I'm sharing my experience, which are two completely separate things. So if you're a guy that's never had results and you start consuming female nature content, what's that going to do to you? You know, let's be honest. What do you think that's going to do to you? Well, you're probably going to go black-billed. You know, if you realize, well, shit, you know, I'm not getting choosing signals. You know, I'm not getting notes on my car. Cool approached 1,000 women and only one of them wanted to hook up. You know, if you're in that sort of a, like, that's the level that you're on, when you consume that content, it's only going to make it worse. You know, you're going to go from blue-pilled optimism to pessimism to full-on nihilism. It's almost like, you know, if you had the choice to learn the exact time and date when you're going to die. It's too much information. You know, you might think, well, if I knew that information, maybe I could use it, and I could use it to drive me to accomplish as much as I can before I pass. But in reality, you just mark that day on the counter, you get nihilistic, and you'd be like, it's going to be over with on this day anyways, so what's the point in trying? You know, and I think learning about intersexual dynamics and female nature and all that stuff, for a lot of guys, you know, if you're not getting results, that sort of same exact path it can lead you down. Becomes nihilistic. You know, I suppose that's unavoidable in some situations. But anyways, to continue with the video, obviously, you know, everybody starts out, as the manosphere would say, as blue-pilled. Some people are naturals, and they're natural alphas. Some people are betas. Maybe they join the military, or they, you know, take part in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or they become a bodybuilder or something of that nature, and they alpha themselves up a little bit, and they start to get good results. But ultimately, it's a big part of being a man. It's a big part of just the male gender to want to understand why things work the way they do. So all roads really do lead to the red pill. Like, you are going to want to go down these paths and educate yourself on all these different topics and learn about these different things. So you're bound to go down that path regardless. So here's how you need to view the red pill if you're a guy that's consuming that content. You need to take it for what it's worth. And here's what it's worth. Okay? A lot of times, no matter who you are, you will experience a slight decrease, bare minimum, in the options that you have with women. You know, the amount of women that you see as viable candidates. And the reason why is because you become useless to a manipulator when you can no longer be manipulated. So that's something that you have to understand. So it is good to consume some content, you know, the stuff that checks out, that's verifiably true, and understand that these things do happen. You know, divorce is an ugly thing. Child support is an ugly thing. You know, there's a lot of ugly things that can come out of it. But you also have to, you have to know how to not overanalyze things. Just be cool. You know, roll with the punches and learn to enjoy yourself. You know, for me, it was very easy for me to snap out of that. You know, when I said it's just not enjoyable to have like a systematic approach to my dating life, it's just not enjoyable. You know, I don't want to have to apply a strategy and a system and a technique to have some sort of like robotic dating life. Like that's just, I would never do that. You know, and a lot of guys out there, a lot of manosphere content creator consumers are, you know, falling down that path. So, you know, I guess that's really all it comes down to. The only thing that I would say is, you know, you need to kind of adopt that. I know a lot of people will say, well, that kind of sounds like bad advice, but if you want to optimize your options and your overall well-being in dating and relationships, you need to carry that same approach as the blue-pilled alpha, but at the same time you are red-pilled. So instead of overanalyzing and overthinking things, just establish boundaries. You know, just establish some boundaries in your relationship. Just say, well, you know, sure, maybe this girl is talking to 10 other guys. But if she wants me to take her serious, well, she's going to have to stop doing that, right? And that's just a simple explanation of what a boundary is, right? You're not going to tolerate somebody cheating on you, which, by the way, nobody should tolerate. It could be drinking. You know, alcohol can be a serious problem. Right, it's an addiction that can lead to all sorts of problems. You know, problems with the law, problems with your health, problems financially, problems with infidelity and divorce and abuse and all sorts of things. So, you know, if she wants to go out and be a drunk and party with her girlfriends all the time, you might want to say, well, that's a boundary. And if you cross it, we're not going to be in a relationship. So, be a good man, have a high emotional IQ, set strong boundaries, but have the willingness to roll with the punches, play the game, and just get it. You know, just roll with the punches. You know, that's a cute girl there. She's attracted to you. You know, go into it with curiosity. Allow yourself to just kind of cruise, go in autopilot. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the moment. Let it happen naturally. I think that'll snap you out of that mindset. Because, I mean, after all, what's the point in dating? What's the point in hooking up with women if you're not enjoying it? If it's not an enjoyable and fun experience? So, hey guys. I guess that about wraps this video up. Hope this video was somewhat informative. That's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.